In the high-stakes world of Formula One, Brad Pitt's character, Sonny wasn't supposed to get anywhere near a podium. Hell, looking at the science, the biology, and the FIA's own rules, he shouldn't have even started the engine.
Let's see what you got.
We all know the underdog playbook. Rocky's the classic fighter who shouldn't stand a chance. The Karate Kid was the scrawny outsider against the dojo golden boys. But in 2025, Joseph Kosinski and Jerry Bruckheimer asked us to swallow something even more far-fetched.
Absolutely.
A guy in his 50s who's been drifting around the world as a racer for hire, which, let's be real, is just a fancy way of saying he's a paid wheelman, suddenly jumps into an F1 car and outruns the best in the world? Here's where things get juicy. While everyone rooted for this impossible comeback, there was a mess bubbling behind the scenes. We're talking alternate endings that Lewis Hamilton himself reportedly shot down. But don't blink, you'll want to stick around. By the end of this, I'll walk you through the alternate Abu Dhabi finish the studio tried to bury and explain how the ending we actually saw got picked in a last-second scramble that almost sent the crew into revolt.
Great.
So today, we're tearing into the science, the sneaky Easter eggs, and the taxi driver controversy behind the F1 movie. And once you see the actual telemetry, you'll spot it. The win was a setup from day one. Chapter 1. The biological impossibility, the G-force lie. Let's get right to it. The human body just isn't built for this. Formula One isn't just about driving fast, it's about surviving forces that want to rip you apart. When drivers fly into corners at 190 miles per hour, their necks have to hold up 5 times the weight of their head. Guys like Max Verstappen or Lando Norris train like maniacs for years just so their necks don't snap. Now, Sonny though, he's been out for 30 years. The movie tries to gloss over this by showing him racing at Daytona, but come on, the G-forces in an endurance car are nothing compared to what F1 dishes out. If you watch the Silverstone scenes closely, you'll see Sonny wearing a heavy-duty neck brace. That's not just set dressing. Some fans think Hayes needed mechanical help after 30 decades away, but the filmmakers tried to keep it grounded. You see the hands device on the workbench, you see Sonny in physical therapy. So yeah, they want us to believe this comeback wasn't all movie magic. He earned it. Then there's the super license mess. In real F1, you can't just waltz in and race. You need 40 points on your FIA super license, which takes years of grinding through the junior series. Look at Colton Herta, 7 IndyCar wins, but in 2023, he still didn't have enough points for a seat at AlphaTauri. Red Bull even tried to pull strings for him. FIA didn't budge. But Hayes, though, the movie waves that all away, handing him a Legends exception and tossing out a rule that's blocked real talent for years. I've got to stop and ask, does this sort of Hollywood logic make your head spin, or are you fine tossing the real rulebook for a good story? Does Brad Pitt's comeback fire you up, or just remind you how wild real F1 is? Drop your thoughts below. I'm reading every single one. Chapter 2. Taxi driver backstory and Easter eggs. So why did they call him Taxi Driver? Back when they were just sketching out the story, the gap between Hayes' old life and the F1 circus was even bigger. He wasn't just another mercenary racer. He was a guy who'd hit rock bottom. The filmmakers nailed the 90s vibe with the grain and the gear, dropping Hayes right into F1's most iconic decade. By anchoring his crash year to 1993, they're telling you Hayes wasn't just another driver. He was a legend in the making, lost right before he could become a household name. Oh, and about Brad Pitt actually driving? That's the headline, yeah, but here's the real scoop. He wasn't in a genuine F1 car. Under all that flashy APXGP paint, shout out to Mercedes-AMG for the design, it was really a tweaked Formula 2 chassis. The Carlin crew built these hero cars to handle the demands of shooting.
We worked with Mercedes-AMG throughout the film to ensure the authenticity of the cars we're putting on the screen.
They look fast, they sound fast, but they're running almost 400 horsepower less than the real deal. Fastest movie props ever? Probably. But compared to real F1 machines, they're basically F1 light. When Pitt's chasing down Lewis Hamilton on screen, Hamilton's actually cruising at about 60% of his real pace, just so the camera cars can keep up. The whole thing is a perfectly choreographed illusion, but it's nowhere close to an actual race. We're only halfway through, and I haven't even gotten to the alternate ending that almost leaked. If you're enjoying this behind-the-scenes look at the F1 scandal, do me a favor, hit like. Seriously, it helps more than you think. Share it with your F1 crew, and don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss the next deep dive. Alright, let's get into why the ending you actually saw wasn't the real one.
What did you say?
Chapter 3, The Alternate Ending Scandal. Let's talk about the big finale, the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. The lights, the pressure, the wild comeback. Here's the thing, Brad Pitt was never meant to win that race. There's this theory among fans. The first script was a tragedy. Hayes was supposed to suffer a mechanical failure, crash out, and then mentor Joshua Pierce to victory. Kind of like Doc Hudson in Cars, or Rocky passing the torch to Creed.
3 laps is a lifetime. Go win this thing.
To keep the real ending under wraps, the crew even shot a few fake endings. In the end, though, they went for fireworks. Instead of cheering from the pit wall, Hayes gets to fight all the way to the flag, showing that, yeah, the new kids are coming, but the old school still has some fire left.
Impressive.
So why the switch? Simple. Marketing. Apple and Warner Brothers poured $300 million into this movie. No way they'd let their star, Brad Pitt, lose in the last act. The studio needed a feel-good, crowd-pleaser ending, Taxi Driver beating the reigning champ. And that rumor about a CGI ghost on the scoreboard where Hayes pops up in P4 for a split second, probably just a myth, sparked by some leaked set pics. The truth is, way better. The team filmed fake podiums with the wrong winners just to mess with anyone snooping around. They didn't miss a scoreboard. They staged an entire alternate reality to keep the finale secret. Lewis Hamilton, who produced on the film, wasn't thrilled with how easy they made the win look. He spent weeks trying to get the racing details right, but even a 7-time world champ can't outmaneuver a Hollywood screenwriter. Even the real F1 Paddock seems to be in on the joke. There's a shot where Gunther Steiner is seen shaking his head, and fans have already dubbed it the most realistic part of the movie, as if even Gunther couldn't believe the script he was in. The truth, though, the movie looks incredible. Chapter 4, The Conclusion. So, was Brad Pitt actually supposed to win? Nope, not in the script, not in real life, and definitely not according to any real race science. But he won anyway because we wanted him to. We wanted to believe the old taxi driver could pull it off. That's the magic trick. The shots, the sound, the atmosphere, spot on. But logic, out the window. It's a masterpiece and it's a lie. Somehow it nails the feeling of F1 while getting almost every fact dead wrong. The real scandal isn't the bad physics, it's how well the filmmakers covered it up. Real tracks, real drivers, real cameras. They sold us a beautiful, impossible dream, and we bought every second. If you like this breakdown, hit like and drop scandal in the comments so I know you stuck around. Share it with your friends who think the movie's totally legit, and don't forget to subscribe to Film Fantasy for more deep dives. And hey, if you want more, check out the other videos popping up now. Thanks for watching.